Good morning, guys. Okay, so today we're backtracking. I started building the new filter box. I was going to use my 42-inch barrel fan. It pulls 9,000 CFMs out. So I started building this box. This is a little bit more sturdier, version 2.0. Second time around, we always take a little bit more time and thought into it, due to the fact that the first time around it didn't quite work as well as I had hoped, basically because it was only two filters and they clogged up real quick. So this is it's basically a 4x4 box. I did use 2x3s, and they're all screwed together, and then I have supports here that run there to keep it all together, and then the outside is wrapped with that insulation stuff. So I was going to use, like I said, the 42-inch, which is right there, that 42-inch monster to pull out. It's a little quieter, and it is 9,000 CFMs. So I posted up on one of my groups that I'm in on Facebook. It's like homemade DIY booth and whatever. And a gentleman chimed in and said, dude, you need these two fans, just two. They're sealed motors. You can get them at Walmart. So they're hyper tough 20-inch fans. And they pull 7,000 CFMs per fan. So he uses two of them. And he says it exhausts like the gun clear, can't even keep up with these things because they pull out so fast. Okay, and they're sealed motors, so why not? So I ran down to Walmart this morning. I got them. They're 70 bucks a piece, way cheaper than what I paid for the explosion proof whatever fans that are 3450s on high CFMs. So I'm going to be remaking that. Well, I remade this, but now I'm going to make a little thing to put the two 20-inch fans in, so it'll sit in the back right there, and then this is the front. Let me show you something. So I have this mesh. This is from Home Depot. This is what they put in concrete, but it's perfect squared out to go like that. That, you get the idea. And then on the outside of that, I'll be making another frame, same size, and that will sandwich that in between those two pieces and also give me like a recessed area to put the filters in. So measuring this all out, it probably used like 5, maybe 6 filters. Some of them have to overlap a little bit, so I have to cut them down. But once it gets in there, this whole front is filters. So I'm still filtering it through. I have 2 sealed fans, 17 or up to 7,000 CFMs per fan on high. They have 3 speeds. So that's what I'm kind of building real quick. The owner is stopping by this morning. He is picking up his harness for the brake lights and stuff like that. One of the bulb connector thingies rusted out, so he was gonna buy it, but it's like super expensive, so he's just gonna see if he can fix it. So he's gonna be stopping by here in a little bit, so I'm just gonna kind of be bebopping around on this to get this done. So far I have 2 hours into building this, and then travel time to Home Depot. So cost wise so far, all this right here with the 3x3s, another piece of foam insulation board, and I do have another one back there, you can see. I got 2 just in case. 3x3s. Home Depot run was about 150 bucks for all that stuff. And then the fans were 70 bucks a piece, so 140 plus tax. So we'll see how this goes. This isn't quite as portable or light as the other filter box that I made, but since it doesn't work, for the intended purpose of what I wanted it to do, it's okay. I mean, this can still be moved around. I can tuck it away up against the wall somewhere, and I'm okay with that. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna start working on attaching, well, I'm gonna seal this all up, and then I'm going to cut another frame out to put on that side so I can screw them together, and then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So it is hot here in Florida. I'm thinking, well, yesterday when I was working on this after work, temperature was 92, but it felt like 105 due to the humidity aspect because we are in Florida. So right now it's wet. It feels wet out. Humidity is probably like 80%, and the temperature is 90. And we're like 8:30 in the morning. So I've got the big barrel fan running to keep me cool. So let me get into this. So they're gonna set in there something like that. The switches, I'm going to wire those out to the top so I can turn them on and off outside. But I need to get the placement of these first so I can, yeah. So that's what we're working on. Okay, at first glance, how I want to do this, I have to set these up so they're together, so they're one bank. So what I'm going to do is right there, I'm going to have a carriage bolt that runs across those two to keep those two together that way. And then I'm going to figure something out in the back here to keep it all in the center of this unit. Obviously, I could have probably went with 4 in this thing, but yeah, that might be a little too crazy, having 4. If each one of these is 7,000 CFMs on high, that would put that at 14,000 CFMs. My booth, no matter whatever math you use to get the space, because there's 2 separate formulas. The highest is 11,600 square feet per minute, so CFMs to turn the air out, right? So with 2 of these, it's 14,000 at high. And being the speed controllers, I can control those as I need be. So this video is going to be kind of like me just building this. When the owner does get here, we're going to push the car back. He doesn't know it yet, but we're going to be pushing the car back inside the booth. So it's out of the way over there, and plus it's in the booth over here. So I can start setting up this fan stuff and then go from there. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna work on. So I don't recommend taking all these fans apart. If you have the knowledge to do it, do it. If you don't, then don't. So let's tear up these brand new fans. So there we go. So I'm gonna go and put this on dollies so I can roll it. I have 1 dolly, but it's not gonna be enough. I want 1 on each side, but I'll do that in a minute. But let me swing you around and show you what we got. So that's what we have. So I made the frame. I joined these two together with the carriage bolt that came with it, and then I just made a frame off there to there, reinforced it up there, down there. And then what I did was, you can see them down there, I just put two of those screws in there, wood screws, down into the base. Right now I have this just plugged into here just to see how this is going to go. I did order a fan controller so I can run these to the outside, and then up here I'm going to put a board across, and then the fan controllers are going to screw into that so I can turn it on and off and control the fans that way. So the fans will be there, or the fan controllers will be here tomorrow. So for now I'm just going to leave them on 3s and then use the fan controller to adjust the speed of the fans. Right? And then there's the front. So let me fire this thing up. Let's see how she does. Alright guys, so what I'll do is I will move you there over here, and we will fire this thing up, and then I'll start on low, then medium, then high. So let's give these a whirl. Not bad. That's definitely moving some air, I'll tell you. Alright, I think those are going to work out pretty good. They're quiet, real quiet, which I like. Man, should have got a third one and put it up top. Like move those two down and put another one up there. But yeah, let's see how that goes. So I'm going to seal these up with the tape, and then I'm going to put the board across the top and get a dolly. I want to get a couple dollies to put on the bottom so it can roll. So yeah, we'll be back. Alright guys, as you can see, we've got the car moved back over here. And then there's the fan box. Let me swing you around, and I'll give you a rundown. Alright guys, so the car is going to be moved up forward when I paint it. So the hood will be about here. So that'll give me plenty of room. But here is the box. So I got a bunch of Velcro basically to stick the booth, the sides of the booth down there are Velcro. So I was going to stick there and then stick over here. But then I used it all the way around the perimeter to hold this in, to seal it up. So that's the concrete mesh from Home Depot. So when I put the filters up here with the fan running, it'll suck it right up against there, and that'll be like 2, 4, 6, about 6. They may overlap in a couple areas, but that's okay. So all up in here, I did tidy up the wires, so no, if it pulls or whatever from the outside, it won't yank it like that. So there they are right there and right there. And then on the outside, so that's what it looks like from the outside. So this is 4x4 with the 2 fans. So basically it'll blow everything through here, and then I'm going to have my big Bertha here sitting like right here to blow it that way. So it'll blow it this way, and then that will blow it that way. It may help a little, it may not. I don't know. But yeah, let me put you up on the tripod, and then I'll fire these things up. So as of right now, I am waiting for my fan controllers, but right now I just have it plugged into a heavy duty power strip, the two, and then I have it running with a big like 12 gauge extension cord over to a separate outlet. So right now I have to go on the inside, flip the switches to turn it on. So let me do that. So that is the highest speed. So according to the instructions, like I've been saying, it does run 7,000 CFMs per fan and high. So right now supposedly I'll have 1,400. So what I'm going to do is I'll close up the booth and then we'll fire it up on the inside. Okay, so it's closed up. I'm going to fire it up and we'll see if the curtains move in a little. Well, that's kind of an unfair test because the wind's blowing a little. You know what? It's going to be perfect. All right. All right, guys. So yesterday we finished up the new filter box. So today, as you can see, I'm up in the loft area. It's starting to get filled up quick with all these parts. But let me swing you around and let me show you guys what I'm going to do today. So today, so this is kind of what I had going on up here. So I was going to use this as an air intake, but once I fire up the fans, it doesn't really pull enough air, right? So in order to exchange the air quickly, you need fresh air to come in quickly. So what I'm gonna do is I have leftover boards right there. I'm gonna cover this up right there, and then on the inside, in between this joist here and that joist, I'm gonna pop a hole right there, and I'm gonna do that on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these two fans up here to force air into the booth down below. So I've got those two collars that were from this guy right here, and I'm going to put filters on the back side. So hopefully what I want to do is take that entire channel from here to here, so 24 inch on center, so that makes that what, like 20 some inches in between here, that goes all the way down on the inside of the booth, and then put filters up along there so it disperses the air. So let me go back down and I'll show you. So as we come down here, so like right here, so between here and here, all the way down is going to be basically the air that comes in. So that's what I'm gonna try to do here. So this one, I'm gonna bring it in so So it's more of like right here, and then this one down here will be like right there. And since they are on the ends of my loft, it won't interfere with anything that I have already sitting up there. So that is what I'm gonna work on today. Let me flip you around here. So this video is kind of turning out into more booth upgrades, but the only way I do these booth upgrades is on certain weeks because I have to buy materials, right? So that's how this process is going. I wanted to put the loft in, I wanted a booth anyway. This project has just expedited that project, and I'm fine with that. So that's what, so yesterday was building this. Today is figuring out all that up there. So I'm gonna try to set you up a little bit, poke some holes in the ceiling or the roof of this, put my collars in, run everything, and then I'll bring you back and I'll show you what it looks like. So here we go. Alright guys, so I got two sets of collars. This one's the 12-inch one that I had in this system before. And then I went down and got a 10-inch because even though this is a 12-inch tube, so basically, let me show you. So with the 10-inch one, let me move this down. So with the 10-inch one, it fits over pretty good, right? With the 12-inch one, even though this is 12 inches, it doesn't fit very well at all, which is a problem. I just can't get it to go over it at all. Nope. That's not going to work. So we'll go with the 10-inch ones. 10-inch ones work. So that's what we'll use. We'll use the 10-inch and then we'll put holes through here, and then that's how we'll attach it with a 1/4-20 with a washer on both sides and hold it into place. So I'm going to lose a little around there, but that's okay. All right, so let us mark. We're going to mark the floor, and then we're going to bring up the jigsaw, and then we're going to cut some holes. there it is. Now I'm gonna go do the other one. Be right back. All right, so I have the other one in. I've got the board mounted. That side's in. So, well, let me show you while I'm up here. By the way, those are the tires. They're like 20 inches wide. I never did get to show you. So anyway, so now the other thing is I gotta power these things. So I'm gonna run, I have plenty of the conduit, so I'm gonna run and I'm gonna put a box up here to put that on their, put those fans on their own breaker. And yeah, so I'm gonna run the wiring real quick. I am not a certified electrician, but I definitely can get things wired up. As you all can see, everything in this entire garage is wired, and I did it. So I'm gonna set the camera down and I'm gonna wire that real quick, and then we will be back for a test run, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do underneath. All right guys, so electrical is ran, box is up there. Like I said, I'm not a licensed electrician, but I've been doing electrical work since I was like this tall. So growing up, it's kind of what we did. We lived on a, not a farm, but definitely wood area, we'll say. So you just kind of pick up things as you go, right? So I learned all this stuff a long time ago. So let me flip you around and I'll show you what we got. Okay, so this is actually the outlet that's coming out, and I do use collars right there to hold it. And then in here, loft outlet, it is a 20 amp, so I'll flip it on. So now it's hot, so we will walk upstairs. I got one of these things. I'll show you guys that it is wired correct. So up the stairs we go. So I put the outlet right there. Now the outlet that I used is a 20 amp outlet, so it's a little bit heavier duty. So let me plug that in. 2 lights means correct. And I'll run that one, and that one is correct as well. So that's that outlet. So as you can see, I've ran one of the tubes this way. I got to clean up this mess up here so I can run the other tube over here, and then we'll plug in the fans and we'll see how it looks. Be right back. Alright guys, so instead of cleaning up, I just ran the tubes. So air is brought in through this way and out that way. So yeah, let me just fire these up. I'll clean all this up later, but this kind of gives you an idea. And now let's go downstairs. Whoa. And yep, it's working. Oh man, that's nice. Oh yeah. All right, so now I have my air coming in. So we'll be back. Alrighty guys, so I got the fan controllers in, and I ran, I made like a little 45-degree filter box. You can see it right there. But let me fire up these front fans, the extractor fans, with my controllers, and then I'll show you how that all works, and then I'll show you the little filter box there that I made. Alright guys, so here's the whole control center of the extractor fan box. So I am going to be running this heavy duty power strip to wire these in. So here we go. So I'll turn them down. So I have the fans themselves on the highest setting. So when we turn them on, they're off, right? And then I can turn them up. And then from there, I can adjust them. See? So I can just run them full. Or turn them down. All right. So I'm going to turn these on full, and then I'm going to fire up the pushing air in the booth. So as I go over here, I've got these on the switch up there that I showed you, and I turn them on and off right here. So those are the big fans. Let me swap you around. So what I've got going on here is this filter box that's pointed at like a 45. Right there. So that's really nice diffused air, and it's filtered. I ran out of the lumber to build the other box. This is just crazy air, like too much airflow for this side, because it'll blow the dirt off the floor up in. But that's that box over there. I mean, this one I still have to make. Oh, and these things will tell you the voltage that you're running at. So, yeah. So that's full blast. This one's at 75%, then full blast, right? And then you just turn them off. And then with this, I can just turn that off right there. So, the filter box itself, I ended up adding a 2x4 in the middle to close up that little bit of a gap that it had. And then I put, I had some aluminum angle just laying around, so I cut it in half. I put it in there so the filters will tuck in there. So now the filters will stay in there without having the fans running, right? So there it is. There's that. So let's spin around and talk about it. All right, guys. That was a pretty good weekend, actually, from not knowing exactly what I was going to do with this filter box to building the new filter box, getting the fan controllers in, and running the ductwork and the electrical for the outlet off the breaker box for those fans up above. So no money was wasted on those other fans up there, because I'll be honest, when I saw that it wasn't extracting fast enough, so to speak, and the filters got clogged, I was like, oh man, I just spent the money for these fans and now I got to spend more money, you know, that kind of deal. So I'm glad that it all worked out. I still have to organize the upper part because there's just stuff everywhere, but I got to do dad duty, meaning I got to go take my one son to work and then pick up my other son from work. It's already almost what, 5:30-ish on Sunday. So yeah, so again, that's gonna, I did get in a tree. So one of those stand trees that you can hang parts off of. I ordered one and it came today too. I just haven't put that together because I wanted to get this all taken care of. And yeah, so I just have to get a little bit more wood because I was building that filter box over there, yeah, the one over there in the corner, with what I had left over from the joists. So I'm gonna have to get one more board, so I'm to cut it up to make a 20 by 20 box like I did there, to put on the other side. And it's as you saw or heard, I don't know, maybe you didn't, it's better with the diffused air. It's not so in your face, and like I said, it's blowing around everything over there in the corner. So I like that whole diffused air, and I think it's going to be much better. I think overall this is going to be way better to paint this entire car versus how it was before with what I had going on. The other thing I like about this box, this fan box, is that I can still use it as a fan, right? So like Big Bertha over here, the big orange fan, 42-inch thing, I move around the shop and you know, to cool me off or whatever, especially here in Florida when it gets in the dead heat of summer. I mean, this weekend it's been 90s to mid 90s, but with the humidity it feels like it's like 102, 105. It gets pretty like that around here. So with this, I can still use it as a box fan, right? Yeah, so I like that double duty right there. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up. I appreciate everyone kind of tuning in here on my booth journey, building it. You know, you won't know it works until you actually do stuff and figure it all out. So yeah, so thanks again, and hey, go out and build something cool. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.